Hello. I think I'm on my own at the moment. But here we are. This is the 750 subscriber live stream. So I know there's no one here at the moment, but these videos get put on YouTube, don't they? Oh, I have two people. Hi. Two people watching. Hello. Hello. Okay, so basically just use this live stream to ask me anything you want in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer it. It could be anything you want about a video that I've already uploaded, one that's maybe coming up soon, if you know about one that's coming soon. Yeah, general chit chat and banter. I'm here for at least an hour, so this light is terrible. I just need to alter the curtains here because that's not very good. The sun is quite low in the sky. There we go. That's a little bit better. Maybe not. Maybe not. Hold on. Hang on. Believe it or not, this is the first time I've ever done a live stream on any platform ever. You might find that a little bit difficult to believe, but trust me, it's the first time I've ever done a live stream. I was going to see if I can alter these curtains. There we go. That's better. Now I realise this is not the best. This is not the best webcam I've got. It's the one that I use. It's the one on the laptop I use to edit videos. Can't hear me very well, Matt. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can do something about that. No. I may have to shout. Can you hear me now, Matt? Don't know. Maybe turn your volume up a bit. There's certainly nothing in my settings. I can't see anything in my settings that's that could change the volume. 4 people now. Hi. Hello, people. 4 people. Hi. Yeah. Yeah. Whack the volume up to the max, eh? Put it right up. Hi, Nikki. The wife is in the chat. Hello. I'm basically upstairs in the bedroom. The wife is downstairs. So apparently I can be heard up here, which is great. So there's 4 people watching. Any questions, anybody? Hey up, brother-in-law. Brother-in-law. Who might that be? Hey up, brother-in-law. Okay. Oh, that might be Andrea. Okay, so there's 6 people watching now, so I can probably talk a little bit more now. Okay, so where have I been today? I've been in Doncaster today. I've only filmed the one parish today. I filmed a big one. That's a clue. I'm not going to tell you where it is because that's part of the fun of my channel. When I release videos, you find out then where I've been. But yeah, I've been in Doncaster today. I've done quite a large parish, so I'm absolutely knackered if I'm being honest, because it's one of them that I've opted to walk around it instead of driving, and because of that, I probably shouldn't have done that because I knew it was big, but I forgot how big it actually was, and because of that, after sort of a good half an hour of walking, I thought, oh dear, the car's miles away. I've got to walk back to the car. So I hope I've done a good job of it actually, because there's a lot in it to see, and I've had to omit certain things. And I do that with the big ones sometimes, because the great thing about little villages is that when you get to them, you kind of know what's there. If you look on Google Maps, you can sort of get an idea of the landmarks that are there. And it's simple just to walk around those, film them, job done, basically. But when you have a big one, such like where I've been today, there's that many things to film. You just don't know which ones to pick. And inevitably what happens is that you omit something. Someone notices it in the comments. Oh, you should have filmed this, should have filmed this. It actually happened with the Penistone video quite recently, because I didn't film Penistone Grammar School. I could have done, but I opted not to. My camera was running out of battery as well at that point, so you know, I did what I could basically. But there's always things in big ones that I have to omit. I can't just film everything. This is why the disclaimer is in the video. So hopefully that makes a bit of sense. But yeah, I've been in Doncaster today and I filmed a big one. Yesterday I was in 2 districts yesterday, in fact. I filmed 5 villages. They all have Ghoul postcodes, so that gives you a clue. I finished 3 of them, I think. Yeah, 3. I've edited 3 of them, and I've still got to do 2 more, probably tomorrow. I don't film on a Thursday. I tend to use Thursday as like an editing day. So I've still got to do 2 of those 5. I've also got, at the moment, just trying to think how many videos I've got ready to go up. I've got, let me see, coming up soon, I have all of those 5. The one in Doncaster that I've done today that I haven't even touched yet. But apart from that, I've got another Doncaster one. There's one in Bassetlaw, which is a big one. I'll give you a clue. It's that one. I'm hoping that one's going to be really popular. And I've got 2 others in a new district, which I haven't touched yet, that are ready to go up. So hopefully they'll be well received in this new district. So my plans for the next few weeks, obviously it's about 3 weeks now until I go to Kent. But before that, I need to sort of work out where I'm going. I'm going into Bassetlaw on Friday, this Friday. I've got 1, if not 2 villages I want to do on Friday in Bassetlaw. My aim really is to get Doncaster finished sooner rather than later, because after the one I've done today, there's only 8 left. Done away with earphones, clear on the laptop, mate. Oh, that's good. Cheers, Matt. Good. I mean, there's nothing on my settings that could change my volume. As far as I'm aware, I'm at max volume. But as long as you can hear me, that's fine. I'm assuming you can hear me as well, Andrea. You haven't said anything. Probably. 9 people now. Hello. Welcome to the 750 subscriber live stream. No questions yet. Anyone want to ask me anything? Hello, Michelle. Hi there. So 8 people. What areas have we got here? I know we've got a workshop lad in the chat. Where else have we got? Should have people from all over. I've been to, well, you know where I've been. I've been to Retford, Doncaster, Rotherham, Barnsley, Goole. There'll be a few more places to come to. Oh, Lawton, hello. What would be the best place I've visited? Okay, that's an easy question actually, because I've been asked this a couple of times already. It's Shire Oaks. Now, when I did the Shire Oaks video, that was the first time I've ever set foot in Shire Oaks. Never been to it before. Apart from on a train, because when I lived in Lincolnshire, I used to come up here regularly on the train. It passed through Shire Oaks Station, but that's as much as I knew about Shire Oaks. So I had a look on the map. I always have a look on the map before I go to any place, even if it's one I know, just in case there's some bits and bobs that I'm not familiar with. But of course, Shire Oaks was new to me. So I had a look around and I noticed the marina, which is something you don't see every day. So I thought, oh, great! I need to get that in the video because it's quite a big thing. And just as I walked around, I just generally got a feel for the place. It's such a nice place, and it was an enjoyable walk. Filmed quite a lot of awesome stuff as well too. I mean, you had obviously Shire Oaks Station, which I was familiar with, the marina. There was that mill house. Was there a mill? Yeah, that mill house that was on the road down towards the marina. Obviously, where the pit top was, and just generally, I mean, it was a nice place to be in. Shire Oaks Row as well. That was a bit of a learning experience up near the river. That was interesting. I hope, by the way, that my videos are informative. I mean, I do try and put a lot of information in them, as much as I can, basically. What's the worst? Now, I've actually been asked that too. Now, I'm sorry if any of these people that are watching live in Edlington. That, at the minute, is the worst one I visited. And it feels horrible to say it because Edlington's a nice place, okay? Because the reason I say it is because of its size and the amount of walking I had to do around it. By the end of it, I was just dog tired. There was a part, I don't know if you remember in the video, where I walked up to the pit top to film what is called Stumphenge. I call it Stonehenge in the video because that's a Google Maps error. But I was informed by an Edlington local that it's called Stumphenge because it's made of wood. So my dad lives in Edlington. Not going to lie, a lot of places are a dive. Well, there are worse places in Doncaster, to be fair. You know, if we're judging it on how an area is, I mean, trust me, I lived in Doncaster for 2.5 years. And one of my houses was in Bentley. That one was actually okay. The one in Hexthorpe, however, was not. So I'd prefer to be in Edlington than Hexthorpe, if I'm being totally honest, Michelle. So yeah, that's really the only reason I've got to say Edlington was the worst. Nowhere else, I don't think, has been bad. I think I've enjoyed everywhere else. I've been to a lot of places that I haven't been to be honest. Yeah, don't blame me. Yeah. Well, the story goes is I lived in Hexthorpe before I moved here. I live in Rotherham, and when I moved in with my wife, wasn't wife at the time, obviously, but I lived in Hexthorpe, and yeah, it was a crazy situation, to be honest, which I don't really want to go into here, but I was glad to be out of it. Rotherham's a lot better. I mean, I'm sorry to have to break it to any Doncaster people, but Rotherham, it's a nice town to live in. And now I've been to all 31 parishes in it, and the town centre in the special 250 special. So hopefully you got the same impression. So yeah. Okay. How are we doing? 8 people watching. Hello, everybody. Anybody new joining? So we've covered my best and worst. I suppose I better talk about the others. So I've done over 100 parishes now on the channel. I don't know the exact figure, but I think I've done just over 100. So we're getting there. I mean, there's 10,449 of these things in the whole country. It's a lot. And I know it's not going to be done overnight, but yeah, I suppose I've got to start somewhere. I'd say 100 down, so I think I've enjoyed them all in some way, shape or form. Even Edlington was enjoyable. I had a lot of good stuff there. A lot of good stuff to see. I quite liked Martin Wells Lake actually, in Edlington. I didn't actually know that was there at the time. That's something that I discovered on Google Maps before I went. So, yeah, that was a good thing to see. Hello, Lauren. I knew you'd be watching. Lauren, I don't know whether you guys can see the chat, but in the chat on the side here, Lauren Berry, that's one of my stepdaughters, who's probably watching from another room in the house somewhere right now. So I had a comment earlier on the Twin Rivers video, which I put out today. Have we all watched it? Twin Rivers video that I put out today? Yes, actually, Matt, to be honest, I am. I didn't expect to see this much support in such a short space of time. Certainly, I knew it was the kind of thing that people would be interested in, because it's going around places that people know, and I tend to find that, generally speaking, people are quite excited when they see their locality, their town, their village, whatever, on the internet or on telly or something like that. I don't know why. I suppose it's a sense of pride. But I knew people would be interested, but I didn't think they'd be interested to this extent. I mean, I don't know how many subscribers I've got right now. I can check on my phone, actually. It's here. I think I'm on, is it 834? I think. Just check it. Come on. YouTube's being slow. Yeah, 834. And that's since the 14th of January. So that's just over, what, 3 months? Bit more than 3 months. So yeah, that's really good. I'm happy about it. Don't get me wrong. It's just that I didn't expect this amount of support this quickly. And a lot of people, to be honest with you, have offered help here, there, and everywhere. And when I release the next Basset Law video, you'll see just how far people have gone to help me. There's only 7 people watching at this point, so I can probably reveal a little clue as to it. The next Basset Law video is the one where I'm in the plane. And honestly, it's an experience I will never forget. And you'll see when I put the video up why I say that. It was just amazing how many people wanted to help me on that day. To get me up in the plane and show me around the airfield where I was flying from. It was fantastic. It's just, people are right behind it. People are right behind it. Yes, Matt. Yes, they are right behind it. And by the way, actually, I should mention, Matt, the guy in the chat here, I would probably go so far as to say that this guy has been the most supportive of everybody, absolutely everybody up to now. And truly grateful for you, Matt. Fantastic, #1 fan. You like every video. I know you watch every video as well, because I know you definitely do watch. I'll tell you for why. Because when I put my Sutton video up the other day, you sent me a message about something I'd said in the video, so I know you definitely watched it. So yeah. What are we? Nearly 20 minutes we've been going. Nearly 20 minutes. So I'm going to be here until at least 8:30. We'll see how many people we get in the on board here. We've got 9 at the moment, that's okay. I didn't expect to see everybody in here, not all 800 people, certainly not. 9's all right. That's actually okay. Maybe a few more. Now we've got 10 now. 10. Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome to you, 10 people. So if you're just joining us, this is the 750 subscriber special live stream. Basically, I'm using this time to interact with anybody that wants to interact with me, giving you some information about what's coming up on the channel. Any questions you've got about where I've been or where I'm going to, I'll gladly answer them. I had a interesting question in my Village Idiot group, in fact, yesterday. Now, the woman who asked it is not, I don't think is in the chat right now, no. But the question was basically, do I remember things about every village when I go to them? Well, the answer is yes, I do. I've got quite a good memory. I always have done, and it stands me in good stead because I can pretty much recall, without even having to look on like a website or anything, what village is in what postcode. I can even do that down to like the nitty gritty of like towns, for example. I mean, off the top of my head, I've got nothing in front of me, right? We'll use Doncaster as an example, but we can take any parish. So let's say Warmsworth, that's DN4. Edlington, that's DN12. I've mentioned Edlington twice now, haven't I? Broadsworth, that's one I've not been to yet. That's DN6. I can even do it for like Scunthorpe, and I haven't even been to Scunthorpe yet. You know what I mean? Michelle, right. Do you think it would influence you to relocate? Relocate? What do you mean by relocate, Michelle? I mean, I've got no plans to move from Rotherham. Not at the moment, anyway. I mean, I don't want to move from Rotherham, to be fair. It's nice here. I live in Rawmarsh, by the way, if anyone knows Rawmarsh. That's whereabouts in Rotherham. Move house. No, I've got no plans to move house anyway, but it wouldn't influence. No, it wouldn't influence me to relocate. No. I mean, the fact I can drive is like one of the biggest tools I've got, really, because I can easily hop on a train or whatever to get to anywhere in the country. But because I can drive, I can go everywhere, and I'm quite happy to drive miles upon miles. I mean, when I go to Kent in a couple of weeks' time, I'm driving that. I'm not taking the train down or anything like that. So, yeah, I kind of need to drive thinking about it. Because some of the places, some of the things, the landmarks, whatever I see, you just can't access them any other way, quite frankly. In fact, there was one place I went to yesterday, which I could have walked it, but I chose to drive it. It was a bumpy old track down to a river, and honestly, I'd done a lot of walking already at that point. Yesterday, so I opted to drive it down. So the car is like it's like my right arm. I need the car more than anything else. Maya and the good lady enjoy the videos. Yeah. Oh, is that Matt? You're gonna have to help me out. I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry. I think it begins with an L. I don't want to butcher a name if I get it wrong. So, hi, Matt's wife. I can't remember your name. I'm terribly sorry. Okay. Dave Birch. Have you ever mispronounced a place name and not realised? I may have done. In fact, yeah. If I have, my very first Doncaster video, if anybody watched it in Cadeby, I've always known that village be called Cadeby, and in the video I refer to it the entire way through as Cadeby. So yeah, I'll tell you another one as well. Todwick. I got schooled by the locals there that it was Todwick and not Toddick. I've always called that Toddick, always. I just, it's how it is. I mean, I think it's the Lincolnshire boy in me, because I mean, we're not. I hope there's nobody in Lincolnshire watching this, but we're not the. How can I put this? We're not the greatest with pronouncing words. We do have our own little slang. North Notts Business Connections. Oh, hello, Mel. You're doing a stunning job in Basset Law. Well done, and keep up the good work. We'll look forward to seeing more. Yes, you will. You will indeed, because I have still got a lot of parishes to do in Bassetlaw. There are 66 in total. The next one that's going up is the 17th one, so there's still 49 after that to go. So you'll see a lot more of me in Bassetlaw. I love Bassetlaw. I love Bassetlaw. It's one of my favourite districts in the entire country, hands down. A lot of it I know because I went to school in Gainsborough, which is in Lincolnshire. It's in the district of West Lindsey, but it's right on the border with Bassetlaw district. And a lot of my friends came from the likes of Beckingham and Gringley and Misterton, Everton, Walkeringham. My best friend came from North Wheatley. I won the Todwick pronunciation bet. Yeah, me and the wife had a little a little thing with that because I was convinced it was called Toddick. The wife said no, it's Todwick. And we had a little wager of £1. And the idea was that when I went down there, I asked a couple of locals, how is it pronounced? They confirmed it was Todwick. I lost the bet. So be careful to pronounce Rambly. Yes. Rambly will be a good one. Rambly is in the parish of Babworth, which is quite rural. I'm going to have a bit of a game with that one, I think, because the main village in it is Rambly, but Babworth it's a village in its own right, but it's so small. It's really just like a cluster of properties around a church. But it's important, actually, because it has a lot to do with the Pilgrim Fathers, if you've watched the Scrooby video and the Osterville video. So it's like the next part in that saga. But I haven't got any plans to do Babworth just yet. So when I do, I'll be sure to make sure to pronounce Rambly properly. Okay, Bassetlaw is full of magnificent hidden gems. Certainly is. Yeah, it is. You're right. You're right, Mel. Yeah. Probably a lot more than I've already discovered. I think one of the best things I found out about Bassetlaw that I didn't even know, if you watch the end of the Wiston video and the beginning of the Everton video, Drakehole's Tunnel. I've been through Everton and Drakehole's a million times in my life, and I never realised that the Chesterfield Canal flows underneath the tunnel there. That was completely new to me, and I kind of discovered that by accident because on that day I'd already been to Mattersea, and then I went to Wiston straight after, and then up to Everton. I did 5 in one day on that day because I went to Mattersea, Wiston, then Everton, then across to Scaffworth, and then down to Scrooby. So what I kind of discovered that by accident because I was coming up from Wiston because I knew the boundary between Wiston and Everton was in Drakeholes. And I'm just standing there in Drakeholes and I'm looking at the canal and I'm thinking to myself, hang on, where does the canal go? And then I noticed the tunnel. It was great. You see, I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have known that without actually doing this. And it's crazy because I've been through, like I say, Everton and Drakeholes loads of times. Have you figured out how to pronounce Happy Spur in Norfolk yet? Right. I hope I pronounced that right, Dave. I think it is Happysburg, isn't it? Happysburg. If it's not, then I'm sure I'm going to find out when I get to Norfolk. Hello, Steve. Hi. 13 people now in the chat. Hello. Hey. Doing all right. You're doing all right. You joined us at a good time, Steve. We're just talking about Happysburg in Norfolk, which is certainly not on my radar yet. Haysburg. Is that Haysburg or Haysburg? Because this is another Berg or Burr-Wallace thing. If you don't know what that means, the Doncaster village of Berg, it's Burg-Wallace. So say the residents. There's a bit in the video where I ask how it's pronounced because I've always known it as Burr-Wallace. So whether it might be different in Norfolk, actually, it could well be Haysbur or instead of Haysburg, possibly. I don't know, but it's not on my radar just yet because Norfolk's a long way away. Mind you, so is Kent, and of course I'm going down there in a few weeks' time. I'm excited about Kent. The plan for Kent is to do the district of Thanet. Now, I did put in the parish notice board when I announced it a little map to show where Thanet is. But Thanet basically is Margate. That's the biggest town. But Margate's unparished, so I won't be going into Margate. But there's also Ramsgate and Broadstairs and 9 other little villages. I'm trying to think what they are offhand. Birchington, Cliffs End, Acol, Surrey, St Nicholas at Wade, Monkton, Minster. Don't remember the other ones offhand, but it's in the parish notice board. I think it's Borough, but might be wrong. Yeah, it could be. It's one of those words, isn't it, that crops up all over the country, and it's either spelt differently depending on where you are, or pronounced differently depending on where you are. It's funny because if you think of Middlesbrough, that's spelt different to how Dave's put it in the chat. It's spelt without the first O. It's just bruh. Okay. My spelling of Rambly was not great in the picture of the village people. Yeah, I'm not gonna enlighten people what you actually put, Matt. But all I'm gonna say is Matt wrote something in the village people group to do with Rambly. Just change one letter, and you're there. Right, Mel, visit the vineyards in Kent. British wines are big news. I'm not really a wine drinker, me. I like cider, me. I'm a bit of a cider drinker, me. But certainly, yeah. Do you know whereabouts in Kent they are? Because I'm obviously I'm going to Thanet, ideally on the trip, but there's nothing to stop me going into the other 12 districts of Kent. 13 districts in Kent. When you did the Barn Be Done video, did you sample any of the meats from the farm shop? No, I didn't sample any of the meat. It was quite interesting, that sign though, wasn't it? With the all the different animals on it. I really don't think it sells all of those. If it does, it's amazing because I've never seen the likes of crocodile meat before. I mean, if it's got it, then then I'll stand corrected. Oh, thanks, Mel. I'll message you maps and resources. Brilliant. Thank you. I'll have a look at that. We'll see whereabouts in Kent it is. I imagine it'll be a bit more inland than Thanet. Thanet's on the coast, so we're having fish and chips by the sea. So my when I go to Kent, I'm going to be staying in Ramsgate. That's going to be my base for a few days, and obviously I'm going down in my own car. I'm not hiring a car now. I actually had to get a new car not so long ago. You might have noticed in the videos, actually, I used to have a black Ford Focus, but that died. So I now drive a little blue Fiat Punto, which I love. It's a brilliant little car. Can't say enough about it, and it's just going to eat up the miles on the motorway. Really is. The only downside I have about it is it's got a bit smaller fuel tank, but that's really the only gripe I've got about it. Okay, so obviously when I go down there, I'm going to stay in Ramsgate. I'll have my own car so I can drive about as much as I want. And the idea is within 3 days, because I'm there for 3 days initially, to do all of Thanet, all 11. It's kind of the reason I've picked it, actually, because it's quite small. And I'm a bit of a completist. I want to get one district entirely done when I'm down there, you see. Medway is another one that I considered. That's also in Kent. Oh, hello, Claire. Hi. Claire Stancer. Claire is another one who's been following me since nearly the beginning, in fact. I think you joined me when I put Hoot and Levitt up. That was quite a while ago, wasn't it? So yeah. The plan is to get Thanet done. But of course, I can always branch out into other bits of Kent as well. So that's the first 3 days. I'm going away for a week, so that's the first 3 days sorted. But I might on the way back up just go somewhere else. I've still got a night to plan because I'll be in Ramsgate Monday, Tuesday, and the Wednesday nights, and then I need to plan somewhere for Thursday. So it doesn't have to be in Kent; it could be anywhere really. I could just come back up via somewhere else and knock a few more off. All counts, I suppose. Yes, and Maltby. And Maltby, you were quite a big help with the Maltby video. That Maltby video is quite popular. It's got quite a lot of views on it. I'm actually surprised because it was a hard one to film because of the size of it and me choosing to walk it instead of driving it. It was like today, where I've been today. I ended up knackered at the end of it, but it was worth it. And I know for a fact it's been viewed all around the world as well. There was a guy that commented on it not so long ago that lives in Australia who was impressed with it, actually. I think he actually came from Maltby. I think he's moved out there. So if he ever watches this video, hi, thank you for watching the Maltby video. All appreciated. I'll tell you something that's gone a little bit flat just lately. Project Bolsover, if you remember that. I've got a few. I think the only contribution I've got into it is from Matt, actually. If you remember, I was after £100 to start Bolsover. I think I've only got 25 at the moment. If I don't get to 100, then it's all right because I can just leave that for now. I haven't got any plans to go into Bolsover at the minute anyway. I mean, when I get to the 100, I can then go to it because I do want to do most of the country in that kind of way. Because it doesn't seem fair that people are obviously wanting me to come places, which I can do. That's not a problem. But it doesn't seem fair to go there and not give something back to the community, which is kind of the reason why I suggested the charity thing. Has there been a civil parish where you find people to be more friendly and welcoming while on your visit? That's a good question, actually. I don't think there's anywhere that's been any more welcoming or friendly, to be honest. I mean, generally people in this part of Yorkshire, northern Nottinghamshire, are friendly anyway. No, I don't think anywhere has been more welcoming than anywhere else. There have been a couple of people that have sort of stopped me and asked me what I'm doing, but they've been friendly about it. No one's been nasty or anything like that. Having said that, there was a guy yesterday that I thought was going to snap at me, but he didn't. He didn't in the end. He just basically wanted to know why I was wearing my high vis. I think it was on the bank of a canal. I think he maybe thought I was a bailiff. So yeah, but certainly I don't think there's been anywhere that's been any more or less welcoming than anywhere else. I think everyone's had the same sort of friendly attitude, to be honest. Oh, hang on. Will you be visiting Oldcoats? Yes, I will. Yes, I'll be visiting Oldcoats. That is the parish of Stirrup with Oldcoats. So it's Stirrup and Oldcoats together. If you look at the map of Bassetlaw, you'll notice that there's an entire section to the west which is currently not done. Harworth, Stirrup and Allcoats, Hodsock, Cartley Lindrick, Walling Wells. Have I missed one? No, I think that's it. Those 5 I haven't done yet. And to be honest, I've been putting them off and putting them off for a long time. Harworth, I know, will be a big one to walk around. It will take me a while. So I need to plan that one out. But Stirrup and Allcoats isn't. And I don't know why I've been putting it off, because I've driven through it before to get to Blythe. But yeah, I haven't for some reason I just haven't thought to do Stirrup and Allcoats yet, or any of those other ones that I've mentioned. I'm actually waiting for Hodsock, by the way. I'm actually waiting for a while because I would very much like to get into Hodsock Priory, which, Mel, if you're still here, I know you said you were going to try and help me with that, so thank you. Anyone wanting to visit Hodsock Priory, go this week. Free entry, the famous bluebell displays. Oh, that's a well, I've already planned where I'm going the rest of this week now, so that's a shame. But it's not a problem because Hodsock Priory, I know, Mel, you said you would help me out with that, so banking on that one. But yeah, Hodsock, I would like to get into the Priory because that's kind of the reason why Hodsock Civil Parish exists. Not to put too fine a point on it. The main village there, by the way, is Langold. It's Langold. So the beginning of the video will be in Langold, but of course I will want to go into the Priory. Of course I will. My dad works for Hodsock. We used to own the business. All right, there we go. It's great, isn't it? How all this brings certain aspects of life together. You know, I mean, I'm just randomly spouting about Hodsock thanks to initially to Claire's question, and then all of a sudden my dad works for Hodsock. There you go. You know, it's great. This is the great thing about people, and it's kind of another reason why I do the channel, because people, we are social beings, aren't we? As human beings, we are very social, and this is kind of the thing that we've had to deal with COVID. We've had to sort of adapt to being unsociable, if you know what I mean. But we like to mix and mingle with each other and let each other know what we're doing, what our plans are, and do activities with each other. There's all the stuff we've missed during the pandemic. And I just find it fascinating how everybody, you know, likes to interact with each other. It's great, and a perfect example right here. I think I like that as well about people that I meet while I'm doing this. And it helps because it's helped me so far get into some great places. I mean, you'll see in the next basketball video when I'm in the plane. Without people power, that wouldn't happen. Oh, there we go. You see, so we've got someone here asking about a school friend. If anyone knows Richard B, who lived in Hodsock, let Andrew know. 15 people now. That's kind of how many I expected for this. I didn't expect a massive audience for this, to be honest. But that's okay. That's all right. So I haven't talked about Barnsley yet, have we? So I finished Barnsley last week with the Penistone video. Where did I dream up the concept? I was kind of hoping somebody might ask a question like that. Okay, well, it's a combination of things, to be honest. Does anybody here follow, I can't remember his name. The guy who did all the stations, Jeff Marshall. Does anybody here follow Jeff Marshall? No? Well, if if you do or you don't, I'll tell you anyway. He visited every single railway station in the country, and the idea wasn't born because of that. It was born because I have an interest in villages anyway. I was raised in a village. I lived for the first 20 years of my life in a village, and then I moved to a different one. And that interest in geography, the boundaries of places and the postcodes and all that stuff flies around in my head all the time. For some reason, I don't know why. It just lodged itself in there and wouldn't go away. And obviously, when I saw Jeff do his All the Stations video, I sort of had a feeling that I could maybe pull something off similar, but I never really gave it much thought. And then I sort of, as I sort of got more into researching various bits and bobs about the country, I thought maybe I could potentially go everywhere and just like take a picture or something just to prove I'd been to that place. But the concept behind the channel was really brought to life when I got a camera. I got my GoPro, the same GoPro I've used throughout the entire 3 months or so. I got that just after Christmas, and I just love it. I just fell in love with the idea of filming stuff and putting places on the map, and I combined that with the idea of going everywhere, and voila, we're here. I mean, it's a mammoth task that I've set myself, but it's certainly something that I'm enjoying. My interest has not wavered one little bit while I've been doing this. I've if anything, I'm more into it now than I was 3 months ago. So that's a good sign, right? Okay. The Malpass Gate Old Coats are another entrance to the Sandbeck estate. Are they? All right. Okay. I didn't know that. I thought the Sandbeck estate was fully private. If you remember the Maltby video, I ended it sat on a road which leads to Sandbeck estate. My plan was to go up there and have a look at Sandbeck House. Didn't have a clue it was private. Yeah, that might be something I look at in Old Coats. It's not that far away, is it, from Sandbeck? Is it, from Sandbeck House? I'll certainly have a look at that, Claire. Absolutely, I'll have a look at that. Old Coats is a nice place too. My wife used to have a car boot store on Old Coats Market, so it's quite familiar to me. Certainly, I get the impression that the Stirrup and Old Coats video will be quite popular, judging by this. And it's not too far away either. I mean, living in Rawmarsh, it's not a million miles away. How many miles do you think I've covered so far? Now, do you mean in total, or do you mean the furthest away I've been? In total, I've got no idea. It's a lot, a heck of a lot. The furthest away I've been. Now, there's two answers to that question, because the furthest away that you've seen up to now, total, right? Total, I wouldn't like to guess. It's probably going to be in in four figures, I would say, in terms of miles. Certainly in the early stages when I was filming, I went to one village per day, and of course, as you can imagine, going there, coming back, going there, coming back, the miles will obviously clock up. But what I do these days is I go out 3 days a week and pick like a cluster of villages that I can do. Like yesterday, I did 5 in one go, which obviously saved oodles worth of petrol, didn't it? If I done them all individually, absolutely. What was I saying before this? Oh yeah, I remember. So as to the furthest away I've been, the furthest away that you've seen up to now would be, I think, is it Grove? I might have to check the distance. I think Grove to the south of Retford, to the southeast of Retford. I think that's the furthest away parish that I've been from my house that you've seen. But I have been further since in a video that you've not seen yet. It is made, and it's coming in a couple of days. Not tomorrow, because I know what I'm releasing tomorrow. I think I'll put it out on Friday, the one I'm talking about, because it's the start of a new district. So yeah, there is one that's coming that's further away than Grove. Just thinking to myself, I'm just having a debate with myself now as to whether any of the Gaul parishes you've seen are further away from my house than Grove, but I don't think they are. I think to the southeast of Retford, I think it's further. I think. Favorite building and favorite church. Okay. Well, favorite church is easy. That was Eton. I put that video out yesterday. The Eton video in Bassetlaw there on the River Idle. That's probably my favourite church. For some reason, I just liked it. For some reason, don't ask me why. As for favourite building, I'll have to have a think about that. Favourite building. I'm having to go through all the parishes in my head now to see if I can remember. I don't know whether it counts as a building as such, but probably the viaduct in Penistone, or maybe the one in Conisborough. I've always liked railway architecture for some reason. That's why I spent a long time. If you remember, I spent a long time in Bawtry, underneath Bawtry Viaduct. But for some reason, I didn't find that one as impressive as Conisborough or Penistone. I don't know whether you can count that as a building, though. I suppose it is. I suppose it is a building, isn't it? Because it's made of stone. You can build houses and things out of stone. So, probably. Yeah, probably. We'll go with that anyway. We'll go with that. Railways are. I'm not a railway enthusiast by any stretch. I do like to film them, though. Absolutely, I do. You'll have noticed that every time I come across a level crossing, if there's a train coming, I'll always catch it on the GoPro, because I know there are train enthusiasts out there. So that's something. It's the same with rivers and canals and anything water related too, because I know that people out there do like that sort of thing too. So basically, all I do really is I find things that look interesting to me. I mean, sometimes I film you might think it's the strangest things to film, but to me, because they're interesting to me, they may well be interesting to somebody else. So, I mean, there was one yesterday where there was a pub, and it was next door to what I didn't know at the time. I didn't know it was another pub what used to be a pub, and there was a plaque on the wall, which I thought was just like the name of the house, and I just recorded it because it looked strange. It looked, well, not strange, but certainly unusual. And I'm glad I did, because when I got home and researched what that was, it was actually another pub. There used to be two pubs next door to each other. So sometimes it just happens like that. Would I consider piloting a drone? Okay, no. A lot of people have asked me this question, and it's a flat no. The reason for that is because, well, there's two reasons actually. One reason is with a drone, yeah, it does give another dimension to the footage, but I much prefer to get right close to things, like, and I can do that with a camera. I can't obviously do it with a drone. So I'm much more of a hands-on kind of person. I'd much rather sort of see it in front of me rather than from the sky. But the second and much more important reason is because bit of a shout out here for another channel. There's a YouTube channel out there. I don't know his name, but his channel name is The Air Up There, and he lives local as well. I think he lives in either Rotherham or Doncaster, one or the other, but he certainly lives around here. And all his channel is basically a drone that he flies up above everywhere. Basically, he's done pretty much all of Rotherham. He's done a few in Donny. He's done some in Scunthorpe. I think he's even gone up towards Hull as well. So I don't really want to tread on his toes, which is kind of what I would be doing, because it would just be copying basically what he's got, which is a bit in the YouTube community. It's not a good idea to copy people. So yeah, I let him do his thing with the drone. It's kind of not my cup of tea anyway. But yeah, his channel's good. I do like it. I do like his channel. His stuff is really good. It's worth a watch. Absolutely. It's called, in fact, I'll type it in the chat. So his channel name is The Air. Oops, hang on. Realize my caps lock was on. Oh, there. Love the fro. The fro? The fro. Or is that Frau? Not familiar with that word, Jack. you might have to enlighten me there. I get my I certainly don't get my brains from my dad. So because of that, I am a little bit short up top sometimes. Speaking of which, speaking of up top, I desperately need a haircut. If you remember in the Kurt Brownwith video, I do say at the beginning I do need a haircut. I still haven't had it yet. Yes, no problem, Andrew. No problem. It's going to keep coming. I've got no plans to stop anytime soon. So, you know, whenever I've got the impetus to do things, I will do it. I will put my mind to something. I'll do it. Absolutely. It's kind of a bit of a thing for me to even do this live stream, because, like I said right at the beginning of this, I had absolutely no idea how to do a live stream before tonight. I've never done it on any platform before, never on Facebook, Twitter, or anything like that. This is new to me. But once again, if I can put my mind to something, then I will do it. Absolutely. We've been going nearly an hour now, so I said I would be here for at least an hour. So we're nearly at that hour. I'm happy to carry on for a bit longer. I don't mind. Anyone's got any more? Anyone wants to quiz me a little bit more? Hope you've enjoyed this. But actually, by the way, I'm happy it's been a bit more, a bit different to my usual content. I hope so. Anyway, it's kind of good actually in a way that I've been able to spend this time with you, because obviously I know a lot of you from comments and things on Facebook or on YouTube, and I've made a couple of good friends actually out of this. But it's nice to have you all together in one place, rather than obviously replying to comments and that. It's great. Still got 11 people in the chat. That's good. Has there been anything that's took you by surprise? No, I don't think so. No. I mean, like I said, I do have a look at the map. No matter where I'm going, I always look at the map beforehand to see what's there. So I don't think anything's either surprised me or anything. No, I don't think so. If I think of something though, I will say, because that's a good question actually. It's a very good question. I think the only thing that really has surprised me in the entire three and a bit months is just how much people have enjoyed what they've been watching. I'm at a point now in my videos as well where I'm actually happy with the format I've got now, because the Sutton video that I put out the other day, that was the last one that had the old parish map in it, which I thought was a good idea right at the beginning to show the actual area on Google Maps. But what worried me about it for a long time was my labels and how small they would appear on a mobile phone, because on the laptop, of course, they look quite big when I'm editing the video. But when you watch the video back on a phone, it's much smaller. And of course, if people can't read it, it's not great, is it? So that's why I've gone to the other map that I put up, the map of the district with the parishes on it, highlighted in orange or yellow, depending on whether I'm in it or it's one I've been to. Where did I get the idea for doing these videos in the first place? Yeah, it's someone asked me that already, Dave, but I will repeat it just quickly. It was born out of a combination of me being obsessed with geography from a young age, and sort of trying my best to emulate Jeff Marshall, who is a fellow YouTuber. He's the guy who did all the stations. He went to all of the railway stations in the country, which in a kind of weird way, that's maybe kind of what I'll end up doing, although maybe not so much, because some of them will be in unparished areas. So actually, yeah, forget that. Yeah. Speaking of unparished areas, by the way, I often wonder whether or not people get a little bit annoyed at not seeing the big towns. But then again, I think to myself, well, no, because I'm the village idiot. The idea is to go to villages. You know, I've always been a country boy. I may live in a town now, but I've always been a country boy. Yeah, yeah. Well, it was partly due to Jeff, to be honest with you. Yeah, and actually, as far as YouTubers go, I mean, I've only ever met one other YouTuber, which you will see, by the way, in a coming video. But as far as collaborations go, he is one guy that I would absolutely love to sit down with and speak to about anything, because he is so knowledgeable. He comes across as the kind of guy who you could just spend an entire day with, and you would be you'd be so much more fulfilled after it. It would be great if I could just have even just an hour with him. You know, he's that kind of guy. I would love to do a collaboration with him on a video. Certainly, I would. It would probably involve a railway station or something. But yeah, certainly. Oh yes. I'm sorry, Nikki. Yes, I have met more than one YouTuber. Yeah, I need to mention. So the Simply a Stitcher, you can see in the chat box there. That's the wife, who is mad for watching all of this. I've been going over an hour. Mad for watching all of this for over an hour. By the way, if you too have been watching this for over an hour, cheers, thanks, thank you. Anyway, so the wife is Simply a Stitcher. My wife is quite big into cross stitch. That's her thing. If you go downstairs in this house, you won't walk very far before you see thread or fabric or needles or anything you may associate with cross stitch, because it's her thing. This is my thing. That's most certainly hers. In fact, if I look hard enough in this room, I might be able to find some cross stitch stuff in here. There was a point in time when that was a thing. There was cross stitch stuff, even in the bathroom, believe it or not. Anyway, so the point I'm getting to is, Simply a Stitcher is her channel. I edit her videos for her because it's just easier for me to do it when I'm doing one of my own, just to spend 5 minutes doing something for her. And yeah, it's a combination of floss tubes and stitch with me. I don't know whether anybody would know what those terms mean, but if there's anybody out there that knows cross stitching, that's what the wife does. So yeah. Nikki says yes, there is some stuff in here on top of the wardrobes behind me. Yeah, they'll probably be in that grey box up there. I'm not going to fetch them down, but certainly, yeah, there's going to be stuff all over in this house, cross stitch related. So yeah, go and follow her. Go and follow her. The channel only has 2 videos at the moment, but yeah, there's going to be more. Definitely going to be more. Hello, Hannah. Those of you who have been with me from virtually the start, Hannah, who's just commented in the chat, that is Hannah, who you can see in some of my early videos. Hello, Hannah. Hannah hasn't been with me for a while. As I've progressively got further away, I've tended to just go on my own. But I mean, obviously, there's no reason why Hannah couldn't come with me and do it. It's a road trip effectively. But yeah, yeah, I've been on my own for quite a bit. Certainly haven't had her with me since I've had my high vis. I love that high vis, by the way. That's like one of the best investments I've ever made. It cost about 23 quid. It was a custom made high vis from a website, which I just happened upon by accident, actually. And I just uploaded my logo to it, and they did the rest, really. So yeah, it was worth the money. It certainly made me stick out a bit. I'm a little bit more self-conscious now though wearing it, because obviously with wearing something that's reflective and something people can see from a distance, you're acutely aware that people can actually see you. When I was wearing just normal plain clothes, I just sort of blended in with the crowd, if you know what I mean. But now I stick out a bit more. People can actually see what I'm doing, which is a good in some ways, bad in others. So, okay, right. We've been going for just over an hour now. We're nearly an hour and 10. So, talk to Darren. He sticks out constantly. Yeah, that's Hannah's boyfriend, Darren. He constantly wears high vis stuff. So, yeah. Okay, so if there's any more questions anybody wants to ask, I think I'll stick around for another 10 minutes or so. I think I've enjoyed this. I think we should probably do this again, don't you think? Do we think we should do this again? I certainly think so. I certainly think so. It's been good. It's been nice to have a chat with people. Now, I don't know how this works when I end the chat. Whether I think, if I'm right in saying, I think I'm right in saying live stream videos on YouTube, they stay, don't they? They stay on the channel. So I'll have to make a separate playlist for this, I think. I like the idea of playlists on the channel. It just helps me group things together easily. Because it wouldn't make sense to have all my uploads just in one thing. When there are 31 in Rotherham, 43 in Doncaster, it makes sense for those to all be together. They make sense in their own district, don't they? So I definitely do like the idea of playlists. So, in fact, let me ask you a question, guys. Let me ask you one now. Obviously, you know where I've been up to now. Rotherham, Doncaster, Barnsley, Bassetlaw. I've started the East Riding. There's a new district as well that's coming up in a couple of days that I've started, and you know I'm going to Kent. Where would be another district that you'd like to see me take on sooner rather than later? Now, bordering all of those, there's quite a few that border all of those. I mean, for a start, there's Sheffield, Bolsover, Northeast Derbyshire, Mansfield. Mansfield only has one parish. One. So that'll be a day just down to that one. Any thoughts on a special? Yes, Matt. The 1000 special was planned before this was. I know exactly what I'm doing for 1000 special. It's going to be an hour long, and it's like I've said before, it's going to be a normal parish video, but the big difference is it's going to be its length, and the reason it's going to be so long you'll see when we get there. But it is a special one to me, which is why I want to spend a lot of time on it. So yeah, 1000 is it's been in the forefront of my mind now for a couple of weeks. So all I've got to do really is get that far, get to 1000. As for the day when I actually film it, it will take me an entire day. So I don't know when I shall film it. I might be miles beyond 1000 subscribers when I actually film it, but certainly it's there, up there in my head. I know exactly what I'm going to do with it. So yeah, look forward to it. Right, what else do we got? Oh, hello. Greetings from Northumberland. Born and bred in South Yorkshire. Oh, right. Okay. Well, that's good. Whereabouts in South Yorkshire? Because obviously I live in Rotherham. You must have seen one of my videos somewhere on one of the pages I shared it on. Northumberland. That's the furthest north in the entire country of England. So I'm a long way from there, but I will, of course, be coming up there soon. It'd be good to do that. I've always liked Northumberland as a county, actually. Used to travel to Scotland quite a lot and go up over the Cheviots. It's a nice part of the country, that really is. Hello from Rossington. Hello. Hello, straight back at you. Okay, so I'm going to be ending this in a few minutes. Really enjoyed this, guys. Really enjoyed this. I think it's definitely a good idea to do this again. Absolutely, it is. So if you're watching this and you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe. My 1000 subscriber special is going to be coming next. That's the next special. Like I've just said, I've got it all planned out. So hopefully it'll be good. Keep going. Yep. Thanks for that. I'm certainly going to keep going. I have no plans to stop. No plans to stop. If anything, I've got plans to go faster. So yeah. Okay. Are we all done then? Last chance, last call, last orders. Should ring the bell. Hey, we can do that now. Pubs are open again now. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? The pubs are open again now. So, effectively, this is last orders. I'm ringing the bell. Any last questions? And then we'll disappear off into the sunset, and I'll go and finish the video that I was editing before I came on here, which will be an interesting one. It's only a short one, but it's certainly interesting, and probably one of the biggest disasters to happen in recent memory in Yorkshire is involved with it. So that'll get its own section in the video. That's a clue, by the way. All right. I think we're done then, aren't we? If there's no more questions. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for tuning in and watching this live stream, 750 subscriber live stream. I'm greatly thankful to everybody that's subscribed over the past 3 months, got me to this landmark, this milestone. So the next big milestone, of course, is 1,000, which will involve the hour-long epic video that I've just been talking about. That's all up here. So yeah, if I don't see you before, but you will, of course, because I'm constantly uploading videos every day. Yeah, if I don't see you before that, then thanks very much for watching this. And I feel like I should do this. I should do this like a video, shouldn't I? I should put my hand over the camera like I always do. But the problem is I'm on my laptop and I can't really do it on the laptop because my hands aren't big enough. Then again, I can get it over the webcam. It's not easy, but I'll try and do that. Okay, so I have been the Village Idiot. This has been the 750 subscriber live stream, and I am out.